As we've been hearing over the last couple of weeks, parts of the Snake River have been shut down for treatment to kill the invasive Quagga Mussel. The treatment of the river was completed on Friday, October 13th. Officials are now starting post-treatment surveys to assess the effectiveness of the treatment. The Idaho State Department of Agriculture and Idaho Fish and Game are looking to see how effective the treatment was at killing Quagga Mussel and their larvae, called veligers. They are also continuing to sample the water to monitor copper levels. Observations done last week during the treatment showed that the treatment is going according to plan. However, it has shown that in the short-term impact, plant life, algae, and aquatic life are affected slightly there. Officials also say that doing the treatment was a tough decision, but the alternatives were worse. The cost of pre-treating water to avoid the impact from unknown infested waters would have been severe and would have added to the cost of hydropower generation and irrigation, which we know here in Idaho is a big deal because we don't get a ton of rain, and so we kind of need to store it up there. Now, the big question is, did the treatment work on the mussels? Officials say that it will take a few years to get a straight answer. Great. A portion of the Snake River will be open on Thursday, October 19th for hunting and fishing with certain restrictions, such as decontamination stations. However, the entire Snake River may take a couple years to reopen fully. This has been an interesting story. It wouldn't have been one I would have known about at all without doing this podcast, like zip. But it is one that I know has a huge effect on us here in Idaho, and for those that have just moved here, the hydro and the canal system and the irrigation system in Idaho is the lifeblood that makes this state as amazing as it is, that gives us the cheap power that we do, especially the renewable power fact, and then also allows for places like Boise and the Treasure Valley to be so green and lush and have, I would say, pretty reasonably affordable water and be able to weather through different droughts and stuff compared to other states, California. And so a threat to that system, to that hydro and irrigation system, is a huge threat. So I get why they went this far. I have no doubt some environmentalists aren't the most happy about it, we'll put it that way. But it's also been interesting learning. Plus that one word there, what was it again, John? That was a new one.
They're the larva, the veliger.
Veligers. It sounds like something Minecraft should steal for their next mod, or what is it called? Mob is what they call them in Minecraft or something.
Yeah, the mobs. That's funny. Well, so this one's interesting to me. It seems a lot like how we treat cancer, where we just kind of kill everything and then let the things that are supposed to be there grow back. If we don't have a better way of killing the quagga mussels, which they seem to be an invasive species that would not be good for anything or anyone, then it sounds like we're doing a good thing, or what we're supposed to be doing. My question is kind of, where did the quagga mussels come from, and can we stop them from coming back? And that's some research I haven't done and probably won't do, but I'm hoping that the Idaho State Department of Agriculture and Idaho Fish and Game are asking that question, and they are looking into that. Because that I would really rather these things not come back if we kill them, and then, 5 years down the road, it's like, oh, hey, the quagga mussels are back. I guess we need to nuke our river again.
You're like,
Yay.
no, please, no. The fishing just got good. Which I'm not going to say I'm an authority on it at all, but kind of being pseudo in that world of fishing and boats and waterways and stuff like this in Idaho. When you go to most of the boat launches here in Idaho, there are signs everywhere that if you have come from out of state, if I remember the quagga mussels, they are more of like over in Oregon, like saltwater, or kind of like that mixture between saltwater and freshwater area that you keep you pre-clean your propeller prop is where those kind of form on and get attached and different seaweed and stuff and things. And it's just everywhere that it says do it. I think there's like, don't quote me on this, I think there's like a $5,000 fine if they catch you not having you don't actually clean or dry off or wait for your stuff to dry before you go and different stuff like that. I know it's a bit serious. Thankfully, most of the time here in Idaho, when you go fishing, it's hot. So once you pull the boat out of the water, the thing dries off in under a couple minutes. And if you've got a good boat you're taking care of, usually the propeller and prop and stuff stays pretty clean. But my best guess is that's what happened, that someone from out of state, they came in, there wasn't a trooper there watching or anything. Person had no idea about the law, put their boat in, had these things on it, and they went, and the rest is history.
Makes sense to me. So props to our government entities for catching this? Or is that just a really bad pun?
It's what is, I think it's not The Office. What's that one gentleman? I'm thinking of him right now, but he sits there. He's like, I've got a joke for you. The government always spends your money efficiently and effectively at all times, and you should give them more.
Is that Parks and Rec?
Yeah. What's that name of the guy? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. That was a show that I never watched.
I didn't either, but the clips, they move around. They get around. But any case, glad to hear the treatment has gone well. Hopefully they'll get a final conclusion on that. At least we can look on the bright side, which is, I do know when they did the copper treatment or whatever, I saw some footage. There are a couple falls that are along the Snake River there over in eastern Idaho where they did the treatment, and it makes the water like super blue. And so the falls were just this like ocean level like blue that you see somewhere in like the Mediterranean or Hawaii or something.